Good morning. This is Rob Pear from Harlem Lofts. How are you? We are updating our market report from last week as promised. We normally, most of you know, we do seminars in our office. We issue market reports like this, 32-page reports on the market for over 12 years now. But now we're trying to do some weekly updates because we're getting the majority of my phone calls are what's happening right now. What are your suggestions based on my scenario and so forth. So we're keeping up with what's going on. So today, 5 minutes, I'm going to try. We're going to talk about the townhouse sales volume, total amount of sales compared to last year. We're going to drill it down into the actual number of townhouses per month, including April, because we're at May 8th today. Today is May 8th in the morning. And then we're going to go to what most people are asking about, what's happening with the current market, with the properties that are on the market. Is it becoming a buyer's market? Blah, blah, blah. So here we go. Townhouse sales volume. Basically in 2019, let's look at February. February, we predicted in 2020, March and April were going to be two of the better months in the past 4.5 years. We were on track for that. An example would be, if you look at 2019 in the chart, it's hopefully will pop up behind me here. In 2019 February, there were the total sales volume was 14.5 million in townhouses, Upper Manhattan, not including the less than arm length sales and stuff that we pull out of our data because it makes it less accurate. So 14.5 million, 5 million in sales volume for 2019 townhouses that were fair market value. In 2020 in February, you look and we had a little over 25 million. So that's quite a jump from 2019, same month, 2020. So we were on the recovery stage that was predicted. And then you flip over to April, had 15.7 million last year, which is higher than January 2019. It was going up as it normally does in the spring season. But this year, 3.2 million in total sales volume of properties that closed in April in Upper Manhattan. And we go from 110 to 180th. We take out any properties that have drama attached to them, or they're trade between family members or something that's not fair market value. So basically, the market took a big hit in April, as expected, with only one closing. And I'll talk about that closing in a second. Our firm actually closed that deal. So now we'll drill it down a little bit more to the number of sales, townhouse sales in Upper Manhattan. Basically, if you look at 2019, January, you had 10. February, you had 6. 10 is a lot for January. That was good. February for 2019. February, you had 6. March, you had 9. April, you had 7. So that was a little different because normally January has less than February, March, and April, especially if you have a market that's recovering. At the time, we didn't know if it was recovering or not, but history tells us now in our reports subsequently, last year, our second and third quarter reports showed that it wasn't recovering. Fourth quarter, however, showed that the first quarter of 2020 would be the big winner. In 2020, it was going to be the big winner. It had 7 in January, which is pretty average, 11 in February, and we were looking for 15, 16, maybe even 20 in March, and then equally in the equal amount in April. But what happened is after the 11 in February, March fell off to 6, and April fell off to 1. And even though we were able to pull off the one that closed was 111 West 119th Street, and the actual price was $3,175,000. It closed it closed Thursday and was recorded within 3 days. Thursday, the April 30th, and closed and recorded 3 days later. So that property was interesting. We had let's just say a lot of people did a lot of things to make that closing happen and participated, and we got it across the finish line, and hopefully another one next week. Now, drilling it down to what's happening right now. This is all the phone calls that I'm getting. What's with the market? So basically, there's 57 townhouses. We talked about this last week. There's 57 townhouses on the market right now. Out of those townhouses, let me see, we have 4 over 4 million, and none of them have received any discounts. We had 20 from 3 to 4 million. 20% of those sellers have decided to discount their properties a total of 4.4%. So not too much on the above 3 million range. As last week, we mentioned the $2 to $3 million range. If you're a buyer, that's probably the area that's best to look at, because that seller group of another 20 townhouses, 35% of those sellers have already discounted their property since March 15th, a total of average of 15.4%. So that's the largest group. Under 2 million, surprisingly, we still have 13 properties under $2 million, and 22.5% of those owners have decided to discount their property a little less, a total of 7.8%. So the take home again, if you're buying a property under $3 million, you're going to see discounts of between 22 and 35% of those sellers have discounted their properties an average of 7.8 to 15.4%. So there you have it. That's what's happening this week, and that's as of last night. So if you want more information, go to harlemlofts.com, go to the resource tab, and you'll see a market reports. You can go back, I think, 10 years and look at our market reports and then compare it to what's happening now. You'll also see a new virtual tour tab where all of our properties are going to be virtual. I think most all of them now have virtual tours where you can go through them without leaving the comfort of your own home, although I'd love to leave right now. And then showing by appointments. We are showing by appointments now. We cannot have open houses, but we're following the REBNY and New York State guidelines, and we are showing vacant properties by appointment. I think we have 7 going this weekend, and we're following all the social distancing guidelines required. And our office is currently being retrofitted now so that we can continue having our market report seminars in our yurt out back. There'll be less people. There'll be safety measures put in place. The construction crew is there today. So our office will look a little different, but we will continue to have market seminars once allowed, but we will expand it through the web. We're getting the proper equipment to invite you from the comfort of your own home. So you'll get more in-depth reports if you want to participate in those. Our quarterly and our big yearly report is usually in February. Okay, thank you very much. I'll try to keep it at 5 minutes. I think I went a little over, and next week I'll do it again. All right, stay safe.